Before we get any further, this video contains spoilers for The Bad Batch Season 2, Episode 11. If you haven't seen it yet, we highly recommend you head on over to Disney Plus and watch it before continuing with the video. If you're all caught up, or just don't care, let's dive right in. To everyone's delight, this week's episode brought back a character from Star Wars The Clone Wars that no one was expecting to see again, the Zillo Beast. First seen in The Clone Wars, this ferocious creature wrought havoc on Coruscant in the most spectacular way after it attracted the inquisitive interest of one Supreme Chancellor Palpatine. In today's Bad Batch episode, we treated some more information on the Empire's intentions with these monstrous lizards because, clearly, Palpatine isn't done with them just yet. In today's video, we'll be talking about the Zillo Beast and why Palpatine was so interested in cloning it. Zillo beasts were a species of semi-sentient giant reptiles native to the planet Malastare. They grew exponentially but averaged out to be about 97 meters long and 60,000 metric tons in mass. At that size, it was many times larger than the next creature on Malastare. When fully grown, a third arm grew out of its back, bringing its total of limbs to 3 arms, 2 hind legs, a head at the end of an extremely long neck, and a long tail with 8 giant spikes. If its sheer mass wasn't enough of a weapon, it could also kill you with its powerful claws and jaws. Its bite had enough force behind it to pierce through metal. If you thought you could hide, guess again. It could see in total darkness. For a creature inspired by Godzilla, it doesn't disappoint. All the same, despite being the most apex of predators we can imagine, the Zillo Beast was thought to have gone extinct. Before its appearance during the Clone Wars, the Dugs on Malastare thought the creature had been hunted into extinction. Unluckily for them, however, several survived. In 21 BBY, during the Battle of Malastare, a fully grown Zillo Beast that had been hibernating underground was awakened by the explosion of an electroproton bomb used by the GAR against the Separatist droid forces. In the ensuing carnage, it took the GAR and several Jedi far too long to subdue the creature. Despite what common sense would tell you, orders from the Supreme Chancellor himself came in to capture and transport the creature to Coruscant so it could be studied. This, of course, didn't end well when the creature escaped and rampaged through Coruscant like Godzilla did to Tokyo. That arc ended with the Zillo Beast's death, and we all thought it would be over and done with. A few years ago, when the Clone Wars was cancelled and Rebels was being produced, Filoni was asked whether we would see the Zillo Beast again. At that time, Filoni stated that it would have been impossible for it to return, since a creature of that scale would have been too difficult for production to handle, and he couldn't find a reason for Palpatine to continue caring about its cloning. That said, he theorized that if it were ever to return, he would introduce it as a baby. That brings us to episode 11 of The Bad Batch, which brings life to a 5-year-old musing. This week's episode starts out in a very horror-like setting with a busted up ship floating helplessly through space. What's left of its crew was running for their lives, trying to fight off the predator that's hunting them down one by one. When our protagonists arrive on scene, they find a lot more than they were bargaining for. The ship, Omega realizes, is a lab full of Kaminoan cloning equipment, and their specimen turns out to be a young Zillo Beast that had somehow gotten loose. Although the Bad Batch succeed in extracting some of the data and escaping, they're unable to kill the creature, which is once again captured by Imperial forces and taken to another research facility. But the question remains, why is Palpatine so obsessed with this monster? The truth is, from the very beginning, the Zillo Beast had always been a target. What made it such an important specimen was its scaly hide. As seen in the Clone Wars 2-part episode, the Zillo Beast's hide was nigh impenetrable. Its scaly armor was invulnerable to explosions, blaster fire, and even lightsaber attacks. Energy weapons just couldn't hurt it, and when you look at its biology, that makes sense. You see, Zillo Beasts feed on energy. There are several instances in this week's episode where the infant creature seeks out a power source that would have fried anyone who touched it, only to suckle on the teat of electricity until it grows big and strong. The more energy it could get to, the more powerful it would become. That had been Palpatine's target all along. Even during the Clone Wars, he had hired Dr. Bold to study its genetic structure and replicate it by creating a synthetic material that would reinforce the GAR's defenses. When it was killed, Palpatine ordered for it to be cloned. The creature we saw today was likely a result of that cloning. As terrifying as it was in the episode, the conspiracy theories it brings to life are even more terrifying. From the moment it was introduced, several conspiracy theories sprang up to surround the Zillo beast, and today's episode only added fuel to the fire. You'll note that, at the start of this video, we called the Zillo a semi-sentient being. The two-parter in the Clone Wars heavily suggested otherwise. During the episode, the Zillo beast saw Palpatine ordering Dr. Bol to kill it. After just that one look via holo, the creature recognized his face. When it got loose on Coruscant, it saw Palpatine's face on a holo screen and showed it recognized him, only to later go for him at the Senate Tower. The creature's ability to understand, recognize, and hate Palpatine was Lucas's idea, but it also shows that the creature could be intelligent. At the time, Filoni joked that the creature might have been able to recognize that Palpatine was a Sith in disguise and was attempting to kill him or warn the people of Coruscant. While this was clearly a joke, Filoni now has a track record about random Zillo beast related things he said offhand becoming a reality, so we'll sit on that one. Our second conspiracy brings us to the Zillo beast's first appearance. The GAR was sent to Malastare to stop the Separatists who were said to be looking into local predators, including the extinct Zillo beast. Somehow, against all odds, the GAR android army fought exactly where one was slumbering, resulting in it waking up and being taken into Republic custody, where Dr. Bol gathered some of its DNA. Coincidence and Palpatine are not two concepts that can coexist. Given that he was the puppet master behind both factions, we'd stake our bets that he orchestrated the entire thing just to get his hands on some Zillo DNA. And finally, we have the conspiracy the Bad Batch stumbled upon in this episode, the intentional destruction of Kamino. Faced with a ship full of Kaminoan cloning technology, the Bad Batch realized that Kamino may not have been destroyed to stop the production of more clone troopers. Instead, the cloning facilities were destroyed so that the Empire could take full control of cloning in the galaxy. This theory is further supported by Nala Se, Kamino's former chief scientist, being kept alive in a cell, but the clones don't know that just yet. This theory may also possibly tie into the strange clone Rex and Senator Chuchi apprehended back in episode 7. At the time, Rex was perplexed by his lack of identification number. He knew the man wasn't a proper Kaminoan clone, but he couldn't understand what he was. If the Empire has taken over the cloning process, it could explain his existence. He's a clone the Empire bred, with whatever new modifications Imperial scientists built into him. Another point in this theory's favor is the way the Empire disposed of the villagers that saw the Zillo beast in this episode. They were rounded up and dealt with, which is vague terminology for executed. The Empire is clearly taking no risks with what information may leak out into the general public, and that makes absolute sense for a totalitarian empire. That is. The Empire stands to benefit greatly from secretly controlling the cloning process. If the entire galaxy believes cloning to be gone, that leaves so much room for the Empire to abuse it. From secret clone soldiers to potentially cloning and replacing key political figures, the possibilities are endless for someone as resourceful as Palpatine. And we can't wait to see what he does with it. The return of the Zillo beast is a wonderful thing we didn't know we needed until we got it. What other creature from the Clone Wars or Rebels would you like to see come back? Do you think any of our theories are true? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. And as always guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.